Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there. Welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. As always, I want to thank everybody for their support on memberships here on YouTube and also Patreon exclusives. Usually go up on a weekly basis. And again, thank you guys so much for your support. We couldn't do it without you guys.
Indeed.
And 9 years in, still going strong. Here you go. Apologies starting. Great Awakening is here. This is Cleveland Clinic director. Breaks down in tears. Apologizes to all his patients that listened to recommendations that he gave. And, here he's just kind of apologizing.
So these are my big issues regarding vaccines, and these are the things that I'd like to highlight. Number one, there is no education in medical schools that I am aware of, and being an educator at the Cleveland Clinic Learner College of Medicine and Case Western Reserve University, I am not aware of education around vaccines, their contents, safety records, informed consent, or the Vaccine Injury Compensation Program. We do not discuss that in 1986, Congress enacted legislation removing all liability from pharma related to vaccine adverse events.
You get where he's going with this. He goes on, this is a massive red pill. Again, I've known this for 35 years or so, and they don't even get a lot of education on nutrition, less than 20 hours typically for a doctor, and nutrition's everything. It really is. It's so much, your mental state is so important as well. But, here he says, I didn't provide informed consent. Absolutely deplorable on his part. And he apologizes to his patients. This is part of the Great Awakening. We've known this is coming a whole time, too. We also know that there will be a fund that will be offered to people to compensate them because, again, people like this medical director here, was just basically trusting what he was told. And, he didn't necessarily go in deep dive and look into all the questions that were being raised by so many people. So apologies are starting. Yeah, they are starting. But again, it's hard to reclaim lives that are just gone. And there are many, many, many. This is a good post. Raw milk was never banned for your health. No, it literally was those Rockefellers destroying small farms, controlling the food, controlling so much of, just the basic things that we need to survive in this world. It was a different world going back 100 plus years ago. Things were mostly provided locally, which literally is better for your body. If you've studied into this, like for instance, honey that was produced in your local area will be better for you than honey produced somewhere far away. Because again, the bees themselves are going on the plants that are indigenous to your area. So they are bringing you what you need for your area. Understanding, how powerful raw milk is. It's actually amazingly powerful. It provides so much more. And when you pasteurize, again, you wipe out so much of the benefits. It really is understanding the bigger picture. The microbiome is so important. It is so important to your health. You are a team. And what has happened with, the Rockefeller medical system and food system is that it's set up a weakening of our systems where we don't have the right flora inside our bodies to give us vibrant health and to protect us against things that will come and attack our immune systems. So this is one of the major things that was done. It's still illegal in so many different states to have raw milk, which really to me it feels absolutely insane. But when you understand people like Gil Bates here talking about, okay, the merging of biometric, digital ID, bank accounts, payment systems, all this thing where everything you do is, there is no privacy. You can't buy anything with cash under the table. They will, they will be able to do whatever they want because they're monitoring. These are the ones that play banker on the game of Monopoly that we're all playing in real life. So they control everything. They make the rules up as you go, and they're just making it sure that they will maintain that control. And they even want to take it to another level. Again, only vampires fear the sun. Only those beings with things to hide because of the way their activities are on a daily basis want to hide from public scrutiny. In reality, most people, I don't think, have anything major that they really are trying to hide from. We all need to face our own negative tendencies and the ways we can be self-destructive. And, it might be as simple as just drinking too much Coke or eating Wonder Bread and not realizing what you're doing to your body. Every time I hear somebody say, oh my God, my allergies are terrible today, you need to detox. It's just that simple. That is your body telling you it needs to clean itself out. It's getting overwhelmed. When you look at the data centers now, the drain on water resources is immense. Millions of gallons of water a day. That's insane. This is, in my mind, it's an excuse in some ways to create water problems that this world would never have if it wasn't for the system in place. Farmland takeover, people like Gil Bates. Why is he buying out all this farmland? Because, again, they just don't want food production. Noise pollution, light pollution, pollution of every kind. It lowers our ability to get good rest, peace, and restore ourselves. They want to keep us in a state of constant turmoil, constant unrest. And this is all being done to lower our frequency and to lower our ability to heal. And, what you're looking at with these data centers, which, there's a lot of resistance coming to them. Tons of resistance. This is good because it's more than just AI surveillance. It doesn't make any sense for the average people. But the reality is the system is not for you. It's not for the average person. When you see, you have U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro just announced that activist Judge Boasberg has blocked a grand jury from investigating the Federal Reserve. Because, again, they're always doing things that are against the greater good because they're just in a club and they're just protecting themselves. Now, we do have these clubs that do argue and fight amongst themselves for dominance over us, but that's the thing. It's dominance over us. None of them are on our side. None of them. Nature puts the heat on. I think it doesn't have to be nature. I understand natural cycles. I know that we're in a magnetic pole excursion or reversal. We understand that. There's 12,000 year cycles. There's smaller cycles within cycles. The reality is, how much of it's natural when there's so much technology that is being used to control and manipulate things? And it's been declassified. All sorts of weather programs, they're spraying, obviously geoengineering. They still try to debunk chemtrails, even when military officials have verified their reality. That is just stupid and insane. But this is the world that we live in. And then, the phenomenon that had gone on with that letter that is before R, if you know what I mean. So many people were looking for a rider on a white horse in a positive manner, looking for a savior to come and save us. Why in the world would you expect a billionaire to save you? Really, the billionaire is there because of the system. The system creates only billionaires that they can ultimately control. And they make sure they can't control. We're all familiar with E Island, and we're all familiar with the type of things that have been exposed. And yeah, a high level Mason, absolutely. Again, the polar psychic Christoph, has picked up that he is being controlled by the Masons and the secret societies. And he also is being controlled because there's dirt on him. There is real dirt on him that would wipe out everything that he's tried to work for. This is Marina Abramovich. If you aren't familiar with her, a lot of people are. And literally being appointed by Zelensky. The magician card. The magician card. This is the magician. Yes, what is that magician card and what is his purpose?
The Trump is the best thing happened ever to us. Because she believed, not her, but the entire population of this Nordic magician, that he is the magician of the highest order. That he is there in his irrational mind to create confusion in order that the human being can find new order. And it's not so stupid thinking about this in that way. It's complete.
Yeah, order out of chaos is it's literally the motto. Order out of chaos. What is he doing? All this, going out there and doing some good things, in regards to health. And then, going ahead and creating another horrible war. It's order out of chaos. Order out of chaos. This is part of the control system's main mantra. And so we have to recognize it. So guard your health. Do your own research. Be your own health advocate. This is just a world in which you have to do a lot of deep research, and you cannot trust anybody, especially anybody in the political field or anybody so deep in the industries that are lobbying constantly. Almost every single, and maybe every single politician is bought and paid for. That's just part of the reality. And it's being exposed, but at the same time, it's just not happening fast enough.
Mm-hmm. I know it's not, so much going on, so much chaos, but that's the plan, and look at those birds. They're even fighting the machines. It's really kind of a sad state of affairs these days.
Yeah, and nature will fight back, and the system will not be able to overcome nature. The system will be wiped out, and it wants to pull all of us down with it. That's its plan. Again, so much has been blamed on nature that has been just manipulation. We look forward to your comments. Thanks for your support. Much love. Source bless and namaste.
Namaste.